Welcome to the Sentimental Twist,
where two generations share one love for meaningful spaces and gracious hospitality.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Melissa.
Let's gather around the table and talk home, hosting, and all things sentimental.
Yay!
Welcome back, y'all.
Yay!
Man,
I'm so excited to be with you today.
It just is rolling by. I mean, we're already in episode 3. And, I think time just... Well, who sang the song "Time Keeps on Slipping, Slipping, Slipping" into the
was
Hootie
that?
and the Blowfish, maybe?
No, Jesus, that's from the 70s, honey.
No.
All right, time.
Or maybe they remade it. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google that. Time keeps on slipping
into the future.
Time keeps on slipping into the future. That's the Eagle. Wait, no, that's the Steve Miller Band.
Oh, is it Steve Miller Band?
And fly like an eagle.
Somebody remade it too.
To the sea, fly like an eagle. When there's something me.
Spirit carry me.
When was it? I'm gonna put when was it recorded?
Maybe that's the only reason I know it is because probably my dad.
Yeah, it's an old song. 1975. You weren't even born then.
No.
Yeah,
my parents weren't even married.
That was actually recorded between 75 and 1976 and released in May of 76.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, welcome back to season.
Yeah, welcome. 3. So I'm Melissa, and we are so happy to have you here for season 3. We've enjoyed being able to just dive back in, and we've missed each other, and we're so glad you're here. This is episode 3.
Yes.
And you can find me at Home with a Twist on Instagram. HomeWithATwist.com is my website, and then Home with a Twist on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I am at Brittany Shepard on Instagram, the sentimentaldecorator.com, and Brittany Shepard TSD on YouTube. Still only have the podcast episodes and one Christmas home tour, but I would really like to do more on YouTube. I just don't have the time.
Well, we only can do so much.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's been this week been like for you?
Just lots of work, which is good. My little group of Storykeeper Circle, we had a workshop a few weeks ago about making peace with your things, meaningful things, and decision-making process around sentimental things. Sometimes we have to decide lovingly to let something go.
We need to talk about that. We need to talk about that on the podcast.
We do. Because I think we can be overwhelmed by those decisions sometimes, especially if the things have value, sentimental value to us, not necessarily monetarily value. So that's been great. I'm loving those ladies. It's so great to see them interacting with each other in the community, and that's been super fun. It's March now, which, that feels nice because it's starting to warm up. We've had some warm days, and, spring break is on the horizon, and I try not to live for the breaks and the weekends, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already March.
I know. Nuts.
I need to get out in the garden. Last year, I got out in the garden about this time, and it was great because I really felt like I was ahead of the game.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wished I had done is plant bulbs like ranunculus and my sweet pea seeds. I wish I had done that, and I totally missed the window for that because we get one more freeze here in North Texas, usually during spring break, and then after that, it starts to warm up. So I've missed the window for that, but I'll do it next year. Our daffodils are blooming, so
yeah. They said there's always a cold snap at Easter time.
Yeah. So gardening is kind of where I'm focused right now, and anyway, it's just a really fun time. So we're gonna move on to our first segment of the podcast, and it's smaller tables, longer conversations.
I like it.
And so we're going to talk about why fewer guests changes everything. When I'm coaching women about hospitality and hosting and their barriers and their fears, I really try to get people to understand that hosting in smaller numbers is so much easier. And there is something happening culturally now, as I think that women are tired of performing.
Yep.
And that performative process is keeping women from just hosting altogether
Mhm.
instead of just being like, I'm just going to have my girlfriends over for coffee. We've
Yeah.
gotten somehow I think I love Pinterest for a lot of reasons, but I think Pinterest and social media have made us think that everything has to be thematic
Mhm.
and gimmicky and just like expensive and laboratory.
And, like,
You've heard
perfectly
of
planned to a T instead of
yeah,
just
mm-mm, no,
enjoying the company, and
yeah.
so
So big tables are beautiful, but small ones are intimate, and
Mhm.
that inti intimacy, yes,
That's right.
is where connection happens.
Mhm.
And I've seen that in my own hosting. When I used to host for 10 to 12, sometimes 20, I'd have these big
Mhm.
dinner parties. At the end of the night, I was like, I never got a chance to even talk to Brittany.
Mhm.
Or I was so busy picking up plates and trying to clean that I never even like sat down and enjoyed the party myself.
Yeah.
So I'd like for us to talk about today how the shift to um, changing it from a party of 10 to 12 to a party and the magic of 4 to 6
Mm.
has three powerful shifts that occur. First is the stress drops immediately.
Yeah.
You cook fewer dishes, you plate fewer servings, you need fewer chairs, less table
Mhm.
space. We don't have to bring out all of the card tables and the folding chairs. You can clean your house in one short period of an afternoon,
Mhm.
and you can actually sit down.
Yeah, enjoy
So
it.
with a smaller group, you don't need a buffet, you don't need backup desserts, and you don't need just in case options.
Mhm.
Um, you can move from an event planning mode to a conversation mode. And I think your nervous system actually feels different.
Yeah.
You feel calmer.
Mhm.
You can replace the chaos with confidence.
Yeah, and it's definitely more relational, and that's
Absolutely. And that's what it's
instead
all
of
about.
logistical, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. What are your
Um,
thoughts on this?
well, I think another besides stress being reduced when you host smaller groups, you can also work with a reduced budget when you're, hosting fewer people. You can without it feeling cheap. You can still do special things, and I think it allows you to do more little special touches that are unique because it's a smaller group that you couldn't maybe do when you have a larger group. So when you cook for 4 instead of 12, you can do things like buy better ingredients or get that nicer bottle of wine, splurge a little bit. You can buy your flowers from a local florist instead of, skipping flowers because you've got to put 3 or 4, arrangements and you just need the one. I have a local florist and you just go and make bouquets a lot of times and he has
Oh,
the best stuff. But, when I'm having a big occasion, that could be very expensive. But when it's just a small table of 4 or 6, buying one bouquet, put it in a pretty vase, it's worth it. You can use your real linens, napkins, things like that, because laundry's not gonna be as intense. It's more manageable that way. And you can stretch the grocery bill and do more unique things than you might would do with a larger group. You can buy the good cheeses. You can do fresh herbs. You can get a bakery dessert instead of making one to try to save money. You can do little different things and it will still feel elevated, just, you know, but be a little bit less stressing on your budget because it's not as many people to cover for. The other thing that I love about hosting smaller groups, and we kind of alluded to this earlier, is that your time with your guests actually gets to increase because there's less logistics involved when you're hosting smaller groups. And I think that's probably the best benefit of hosting a smaller group is because at a larger dinner, you spend most of the time you know, managing things and organizing things and making sure everything's out where it is needs to be and you're flying around the kitchen, flying around the buffet, restocking, refilling items, things like that. But with a smaller dinner, you can sit down and eat with the
yeah.
folks and enjoy the folks and have longer conversations. And so it's a kind of the difference between hosting for people and being with people, in the dinner time.
Like that. I like what you just said. Hosting for people,
Mhm. And
hosting what
And
was
be
this?
with people, like being with people.
Hosting and being with people. That's a
Mhm.
big takeaway right there.
I think it's a difference between hosting and hospitality, honestly.
Oh,
If you think about it, like,
Brittany, that is so big.
because hosting is what you're doing for folks, and hospitality is what you're doing with folks, like, bringing people into your life in a different
Yeah,
way.
because here's the thing is that your guests will feel that disconnection
Mhm,
if you're hosting for people
mhm,
instead of hospitality is making people feel loved and
mhm.
served.
Yeah.
Um,
And that doesn't mean to say, like, don't go all out and with
yeah,
effort,
yeah. I mean,
because
maybe occasionally a different, like maybe for a
Mhm,
birthday or for a
mhm,
Christmas party. We're talking about just getting back to just hosting more often, but on a smaller scale.
yeah.
You can certainly do what makes you
Mm.
light your heart on fire.
And in a smaller scale, mm, you can focus a little more on those smaller details that might require more effort, but they're worth it because, 1, it's making those people in that small group feel even more connected to you, even more special to you, but then it's I don't know, it feels more manageable in a way to do it that way. But, when you're sitting at a small table, you get to connect with people more. That's easier to make eye contact. You can talk to each person. Everybody can engage in the conversation. No one feels like I know when I go out to dinner with friends, even in a restaurant, I try because I'm the ultimate extrovert. I try to sit in the middle of the table so I can be in all the conversations.
Yeah, because you have fear of missing out.
Right. But, but when you have a smaller group of people, the conversation is everybody. There's no side conversations with just a few people having a conversation. There's 4 people, you're all conversing together. You can ask deeper questions. You've heard of table talk? I think it's called table talk. No. The little box of cards? I think it is called
Yeah,
table
yeah,
talk.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
And they have different, like, themes, like, some are like date night, some are group dinner, friend dinner, some are with kids, but they're just a little box of, like, question prompts, and we do that from time to time. We sit the one on the table, and we'll just grab a couple of questions and talk about it, and it's so fun because we get to ask random questions of each other that we might not. And then when it's smaller, I think lingering happens longer, and my favorite part of something an occasion like this is the lingering. You go back for second dessert, you get another cup of coffee, you can stay at the table because it's comfortable and you're not squished together and crowded, or you could move to a seating area in the living room and it's not everybody sprawled out. So I think the lingering is more fun in a smaller group sometimes. So
Yeah, I like that too. I
everybody
also
feels
like
involved.
I also like starting the dinner a little earlier, like
Mm,
5 or 5:30, because if you wanna linger, you're not lingering late into the night
right. That's a good point.
because 'cause you're an early riser,
Mhm.
and I'm not so much an early riser anymore, but I also like to get my jammies on.
Mhm.
Did you see my leave by 9
Please keep my
napkins?
9. Mhm. I love them. 'Em. They're so cute.
A couple of people said, "Oh, that seems kind of rude to me," and I'm like, "It's first of all, it's a joke.
It is. And people
Nobody's
coming know.
it creates conversation at the table, like, "Oh my gosh, I totally love this," like, "Yes, I get in my pajamas at 7 p.m." It's not a literal directive to people that they have to be
Right.
outside, but maybe a subconscious one.
Mhm. Little hint.
Okay, so I love that idea, and I wanna challenge everybody that is maybe struggling with hosting. Let's just start with yourself and your partner and maybe another couple, maximum 2
Mhm.
couples. So a
Just a
party of
group of
6.
friends. Mhm.
And here's the thing too, is that we're gonna talk about menu ideas, but most casseroles, most dishes, pot of spaghetti
Mhm.
or a meatloaf will serve 4 to 6 people.
Yeah.
So
In
you're not
general.
having to buy extra ingredients to double anything. You can
Mhm.
easily get away with just making one
Make one
recipe,
one
and that's
recipe.
it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay, so menu ideas for smaller spring tables.
Like that. Okay.
Low effort, elevated, and intentional.
Mhm.
When you lower the guest count, you can simplify your structure.
Mhm.
So let's think of one pot plus a beautiful dessert.
Mm.
So, one thing I love is I bought myself this cookbook several years ago. My sister put me onto it. It's 100 recipes every woman should know.
Oh, cute. Cute
It
cover.
was printed in 1991, I believe. Let me look. One of the things people said on this, oh, it was printed in 2011.
Hmm.
One of the things people said, did you know that we did a survey? If people have been answering the survey for our podcast,
Right?
did you see that the majority of people watch this on YouTube?
YouTube. Yes, that's mouth.
And it's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. And they love it
But
when
we
we
do
throw
show
in,
and tells a good bit,
yeah,
so
show
it
and
does.
tell.
Mhm.
So this is what the cover of the cookbook looks like. It was written by a Glamour magazine editor, which they
Mhm.
even print Glamour magazine anymore. I don't
Probably.
know. I used to love to get it. My mother thought it was a little racy when I was in
Oh,
high school.
mm,
Anyway, in there is called, it's 100 recipes every woman should know by Cindy. I think it's Levy,
mhm.
Lieve, and it's roast chicken with lemon and herbs. And here's a
Ooh, I
picture of
love a
it.
good roast chicken. That's such a good meal. Mm,
And I think that a lot of people think roasting a chicken is intimidating.
yeah.
It is the easiest thing. It is foolproof. And let me read the recipe to everybody in case you don't have
Okay.
the cookbook. But we'll put a link in the show notes.
Okay.
You take one whole chicken.
Mhm.
You can get a chicken for $8 at Walmart. 3 lemons and a half a cup of lemon juice.
Mhm.
Salt and pepper and assorted herbs like rosemary, sage, thyme, parsley, things that you can get in your garden. Spring greens with shaved parmesan, warm bread, strawberry shortcake, or lemon icebox pie.
Mm,
Let me just read it real quick. On page
yeah.
245, they give you, that's one of the other things I love about these books is if you can find cookbooks that give you the menu, it
Mhm.
makes it foolproof.
Yeah.
So this engagement dinner, and why it's called engagement, marry me chicken. I think I
Mm.
might have forgotten that. I'm so excited I'm forgetting things. It's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Marry Me Chicken because 60 couples got engaged when they printed this recipe in the Glamour magazine. And all their stories
There.
are in the beginning of the cookbook. So this is called an engagement chicken dinner, and it's classic Manhattans with maraschino cherries, roasted cherry tomatoes, spinach, gorgonzola, cheese salad,
Mm,
engagement chicken with lemon and herbs, baked new potatoes, and creamy white butt cake with Chardonnay glaze, which I'm going to
yeah.
totally make that.
That
Doesn't that
sounds
sound delicious?
mhm. The whole menu.
So the Mary Meet, the engagement chicken. So the first portion of the book is all the success stories of all the engagements of people, and the engagement chicken is super simple. You just basically turn your oven on. You remove the giblets from the chicken. You wash the chicken inside and out with cold water, and then let the chicken drain cavity down in a colander for 2 minutes.
I think that's
Then
what
you,
people are intimidated by.
yeah, it's so
Mhm.
simple. Then you pat the chicken dry with paper towels. You place it breast side down in a roasting pan. Pour lemon juice all over the chicken, both inside and out. Season the chicken all over with salt and pepper. Prick 2 whole lemons 3 times in each different places with a fork and place them inside the cavity. And if okay, here's a tip. If your lemons are stiff, roll
Mhm.
them with the palm of your hand on the
Mhm.
counter, and that helps to soften the lemon up, and so it makes it more juicy.
Mhm.
And the reason you're pricking the lemon is that the juice will ooze out of the lemon into the chicken
Mm.
and infuse your chicken with this taste
Mm.
of lemon. Put the chicken in the oven, lower the temperature to 350 and roast uncovered for 15 minutes. Remove the chicken using the tongs or wooden spoons. Insert a meat thermometer and return the chicken to the oven and roast for another 1 to 1.5 to 1 hour and 15 minutes until the meat reaches 180 degrees.
Mm.
Let the chicken rest for 10 minutes and then carve. Super simple.
Yeah.
Doesn't require a lot of effort. So
I think
while the
also
chicken,
people are intimidated about carving a chicken into the pieces. I know I have felt a little bit like about that before, but I've done it and I do
yeah,
it, but it's
I mean,
just
there are so many super
mm,
easy videos that you can watch
mhm.
on YouTube of how to carve a chicken. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
But while the chicken's cooking for an hour and 15 minutes, you could be putting together your salad
Mhm.
and setting the table if you didn't do this table the night before. So
Mhm.
minimal cooking, beautiful presentation.
Yeah.
My tip is to always plate your things on white dishes,
Mm.
white platters, white, plates, because it lets the food be the star.
Mm.
And you can find white dishes at
Yeah.
Walmart, at Goodwill. I mean, they're everywhere. So
I
that's
have a
the
hard
first.
time with the white dish thing because I love dishes so much.
I know. But I do have, I kind of have as part of my hosting arsenal, several white platters, white bowls,
Mhm.
that I like to plate my food on.
Yeah.
So we said that was one pot, a beautiful dessert. The next
Yes.
one is soup and something,
Soup and something.
and I'm a soup girl, and I know
I
you
am
love
too.
soup too.
Mhm.
So this is perfect for early spring evenings, tomato basil soup.
Mm. Mhm.
I mean, you can buy tomato soup at La Madeleine. The
Mhm.
jarred La Madeleine soup they sell in the grocery store in a jar. It's a big jar. I like Amy's brand.
Mhm.
Or you have your tomato and rice soup
Oh,
that you
yeah.
like to make.
Mhm.
A rotisserie chicken salad, which you can buy or make. Croissants and a store bought dessert with whipped cream.
Yummy.
That's it.
Yeah, my friend Robin, she's missed this and that on Instagram. She recently posted a tomato basil soup recipe that looked fantastic, and I think it would rival the La Madeleine.
No, really? Okay, I'm gonna look her up.
Mhm.
She's missed this or that.
Miss Yeah, miss this and that, and that, and that.
Is it and that?
I think it's an N. I think it's Miss MS this N, like the letter N, that, Robin.
I'm looking her up. So I need that tomato basil soup.
I think she's doing like a soup Sunday, soup on Sunday, so
Okay, good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, you can bowl up your soup into mugs,
Oh, I love that.
if
Yeah.
if you just wanna have like, I love to have tomato soup with grilled cheese. That's another thing
Mhm.
you could do,
Yeah.
is just make everybody a grilled cheese sandwich, and you can put them in the oven as you make them to keep them warm.
Yeah.
Plus, I think that kinda crisps it up a little bit,
Mhm.
and do some good crunchy sourdough bread.
Delicious. Let me tell you, if you wanna do a little bit deeper, and depending on how many people you come, I have hosted a grilled cheese bar dinner, and so I made pot of soup, and then everybody brought different fun ingredients and made their own grilled cheeses on the griddle, like a big plug-in griddle, and so some people would do, like, brie and jam on their grilled
Oh my
cheese,
word.
bacon, and everybody did a little salty sweet situation, which was really good. But you can when see that's going a little further, like going onto Pinterest and getting ideas. But if it's for a small group of people and everybody brings a couple of options for the grilled cheese bar, that is fun.
How many people did you have at that
Well,
party?
that was a large it was probably 15 or so. And it
Okay.
was like everybody came and made their own grilled cheese dough,
Yeah,
and a pot of soup was on the stove. It wasn't like a plated plate
and
situation.
we're not saying to not host 15 people. We're
Mhm.
just saying if you're wanting to get back in the hosting game, start small,
Start
build your
small.
confidence. Hosting large groups takes experience, trial and
Mhm.
error, being able to go with the flow, and some of that takes just doing it for a lot of years. I mean, I've been
Mhm.
hosting for 40 years.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that things don't go wrong when I host, but if you're a newer host or you've downsized or you're wanting to get back in the hosting game, rather than overwhelm yourself with a
Yeah.
15 to 20 people, just start with 4 to 6 or even just have people over for coffee. Okay. I
Mhm.
know you have some ideas because
Yeah, some spring
you're the
menu.
queen of girl supper.
Well, yes. So this one is your spring supper board.
Mm.
So platter, big butcher block cutting board, whatever, wooden board, and so you're gonna have enough for 4 to 5 guests. You could do a protein like sliced chicken, you could even grill some salmon or even grilled sliced flank steak, you know? I love that because it's so easy to cook and it's quick, flank steak is because
And
it's
you
thin.
could cook that the day before,
Mhm.
wrap it up,
Yeah.
slice
Mhm.
it cold.
Yeah, roast vegetables, cheese, bread. You can make it pretty, tuck some herbs in there. It looks like just this overflowing board of beautiful things, and people just plate it themselves onto their dishes, pulling from sitting on the center of the table, and people just help themselves and make a plate. I mentioned the grilled cheese bar, but with a smaller group of people, I did a salad and potato board.
Ooh.
So I had a big bowl of greens, like mixed greens, because I like all the funded lettuces, and then I baked a few potatoes, regular and sweet, and then had a couple of dressing options, and then the toppings could go either on your salad or your baked potato, or both. And so, you have your bacon, your cheese, your normal baked potato kind of things, but you can get a little creative and do some different things. And the board is in the middle, the potatoes are in the middle. You pick what you want, you fix your salad on your plate and add your toppings and your dressing, and it was a hit. It was a star. My friends loved it.
Who does
Another thing,
who doesn't
huh?
love a baked potato?
Right? Especially like a loaded baked potato with all
Oh,
the things. And I think I even had where you know how you put like broccoli in salad. I think I had some like broccoli florets. I had a bunch of different little bowls of toppings that could
yeah,
go on the salad and
yeah.
or on the potato. And it was fun. It was really fun. Another thing you can do with a small group like this is make the dessert the show and have like a dessert trolley moment if you have a little rolling cart. I don't really have a I guess I could make my linen cart into a rolling it's a Serena and Lily bar cart, but I use it to have my table linens
Girl, you have a
there.
Serena and Lily bar cart.
But it was super on sale when I got it.
You are
Um,
so bougie. I want one.
I'm not pushy. It was really on sale.
Oh,
But I could use that, or, you know, you can just set a dessert sort of situation on a surface if you don't have anything to roll in, but
yeah.
do a simple dinner with a salad, bread, nothing special, and then bring out the desserts like cake, coffee, champagne. This is when you can employ the local bakery if it's a smaller group, so you're not feeling like you're stuck baking, but our one of my favorite local bakeries has the best petit fours, and so
Oh,
I would
oh,
probably splurge on that and do it, like, on a tiered stand, make it look, like, super
yeah.
fancy, and maybe other little pastry desserts. Sometimes I get from the grocery store bakery, they'll have the assorted little cannolis, little tarts, little different things, and just do a big dessert board, another board situation. But then dessert becomes the event,
Yeah,
and the meal is super simple, and then the lingering with the coffee and the champagne happens really easily if there's a lot of little dessert options to choose from,
yeah.
so
You know what
that's
I want to invest in
what's that?
to save up my money is one of those patisserie stands that Ballard Design has.
I have
You do?
one. Yes.
Brittany Shepard. Brittany
Also bought
Design.
on super clearance, but
Okay, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, do you have it, nearby?
it's super heavy, and it has a bunch of plants on it right now. It stays
Okay,
usually in my kitchen window because I have deep window sills, and I put, like,
sure.
my herbs and my potted
Yeah, so
plants.
it's
At Christmas, it was my breakfast table centerpiece.
okay, so go to Brittany's Instagram and look back at her Christmas pictures. But basically, a patisserie stand is what you would find if you went into a really nice French bakery. It's a glass, two or three tiered stand, and it's got brass or silver, but mostly brass, I think.
Mhm,
Little kind of poles on the end that kind of connect it. And it's
mhm,
just so beautiful to, if you're going to host a coffee, you could put little mini
mhm,
croissants and coffee cakes and muffins on it. But in this case, if you're going to do Brittany's idea of making dessert be the show, it could be your centerpiece on your
on the
table
table. Mhm.
throughout dinner.
Yeah.
And people are hurrying up getting their meal finished because they want to dive into the dessert.
Dessert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Skip the flowers and make your
Yep.
dessert be the centerpiece.
Yes.
I've done that
Works for
before
me.
for Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
these are
I love
all
these ideas, yeah.
I do too. And I've researched there is a cute little small brass and glass trolley on Amazon that's like 60
Oh.
bucks.
To
And it
do a
could be
little
for you can
dessert.
wheel it outside on the patio and put drinks on
Mhm,
it, or you could put it in I mean, there's lots of places you can put a trolley. You could put it in the bathroom with your rolled up towels next to the
mhm,
tub. You could put it in your guest bedroom when your
mhm,
guests come and put bottled water and
mhm.
granola bars and
Right,
snacks,
yeah.
magazines. So there's lots of ways you can use a dessert trolley.
Mhm.
Okay,
Love it.
that was great. I love that. I'm always super hungry when we finish our podcast recording.
Every single time. Every single time. It's
Yeah,
way it's
there
probably
was
got good food.
there was one when we did it with Amelia last season.
Uh-huh,
We talked about Olive Garden.
uh-huh.
When as soon as I finished left the chat, I was like, Amelia, we're going to Olive Garden, and she's like, "What's Olive Garden? Do they just have olives? Is it a garden of olives?" And I'm like, "No, girl, it's a garden of breadsticks, endless breadsticks." And when we went, she finished and she said, "I would give this 5 stars."
It's great.
And I said, "Well, this is gonna be the place we're gonna take you every time you come. It'll
Yeah,
just be your little
be
spot."
our thing. That's cute. It's time for porch talk.
Yay! You love this one.
Yes, I do. It's so fun because we get to know each other, and I say that every time, so I'm being redundant. But Porch Talk is our quick fire speed round where we ask each other questions and we give quick answers, and you get a little peek behind the screen door of who we are, the things we like, and a little bit about our personalities. And it's so funny because sometimes we're exactly the same and sometimes we're exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
So,
you're a morning person, I am not. I used to be back when I had to work for 35 years, but I am not a morning person anymore.
oh, I
Okay.
know. Okay, let's do it.
So,
You want to
I
ask
will
first?
ask questions and then you answer. Is that what you want to do?
That's fine. We can
Okay.
always switch it up if you want to switch it up.
No, I'll go first. What's
Okay.
your don't overthink it dish?
Sheet pan dinner, roasted sheet pan.
Ooh, tell me about that.
So, you know, ro kind of like the board, but roasted veggies. I love zucchini, roasted, squash, bell peppers, sweet potato, like chopped, diced sweet potato.
Oh, yeah.
So I just roast like dice and chop up a bunch of veggies. Onions, red onions are really good oven roasted. I don't know about you if you think about that, but
I
and then
love
a
red onions.
protein that you can cook along with them. Like sometimes I'll do the veggies on the bottom and I'll put the rack on top of the veggies, like just sitting on top of the veggies and put chicken thighs, seasoned chicken thighs on top and they cook and then the juices and then I let the veggies cook longer than the chicken. And so that just all meshes together like summer sauce, like not summer sauce, sausages, like Italian sausage. You can cook those in the oven with your veggies. And I've done little mini meatloaves for like each person on the sheet pan with the veggies. A pork tenderloin, roast that on the sheet pan with the veggies.
Mm.
So a sheet pan dinner is my don't overthink kind of thing. And you can kind of mix and match and make it whatever you want to with all the different options. Salmon, you know, for your protein. And that's basically a full meal. You just add some bread, maybe a side salad, you're done. So
And that's something that you can eat for several days if you
mhm.
don't finish it.
I
And
do
if
this
it's
a lot for my meal plan. Like I'll do that on a Sunday evening and have it for supper Sunday evening, and then I can box up 3 more servings for lunches for the week. So
yeah, and you can add, like, rice to it
mhm.
or pasta, if you
Yeah.
kinda wanna add something to it.
Mhm.
That's great. Are you a lemon square or strawberry shortcake?
Well, I'd rather not have to choose, but I'm gonna go lemon square.
Okay. Do you have a good lemon square recipe?
I don't. I just like
Ooh,
I think Anna has made them. Anna is the baker in the friendship. I'm the cook and she's the
okay,
baker.
that's good. I love
Um,
that.
so but I am this is totally off topic, but I have some bananas to make banana bread that are ready to make banana I never buy bananas except for when I'm gonna make banana bread, and it's a Biscoff banana bread.
What?
Uh-huh. So I'm looking
I
forward to doing
must need that.
it is a cookbook. I shared it not too long ago in my Instagram stories, but it's a cookbook by a girl that I follow. Her name's Nat's Nourishments, and she's British. I think she's from the UK.
British?
British, and
British?
she, has a cookbook that came out, but she's a chef, a private chef, and then so on her Instagram, she would just post the meals she made herself after working a long time and
Uh-huh.
ended up coming out with a cookbook, and it's really good, and she's mostly vegan. They're mostly, like, vegan meals and recipes, but
Is it Chell
and
Sweets?
hmm?
Is her name Chell Sweets?
I don't know. Her name's
Okay.
Natalie, Nat's
Okay.
Nourishments.
Nat's Nourishments. Okay, because I just Googled Biscoff banana bread,
Oh.
and it came up the first one
It's
that
in
came
her
up.
cookbook. I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's on her Instagram.
Okay, well, that's something I would totally be into.
Yeah. So
You
I
know,
might
the
make that this
airlines the
afternoon.
airlines are sharing those Biscoff cookies as part of their thing. I
Mhm.
Phoebe and I went to Seattle not too long ago to celebrate her birthday, and they come around, and they ask you, "Do you want pretzels or Biscoff?" And I always say, "I'd like both, please.
Okay.
A little salty now, and then I'll have a little sweet later." But Biscoffs, you can just oh, they're so good.
We should make our airplane requests a porch round question one day and not talk about it now. Let's not talk about it now. Like
Okay, right.
what drink and snack we always choose.
Okay, okay, that's a good one. Let me write that down because I
Good,
forget.
good quick fire question.
What do you associate with Sunday afternoons?
Rest. I try for it to be rest, because I try not to have the Sunday scaries. And the way that I don't have the Sunday scaries is that I make sure I'm rested. And then I also do my weekly planning. I plan for the week on Sunday
So good
afternoons.
for
And
that.
then if it's nice, like sunny and warm-ish, but not hot, then I like to go outside and enjoy my patio and the sunshine. I have a wrought iron chase lounge with a cushion, and if it's nice, I try to sit out there on Sunday afternoons, and I do things while I'm out there, like I might read or work on something, but just enjoy the sunshine, let the dogs run around, so
Yeah, and enjoy it before it just
it's
is wreaks havoc
oppressive.
with heat and mosquitoes.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of mosquitoes in
Yes.
Alabama? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me what you mean by Sunday scaries, because I think we're on the same page with that.
Well, I think it's a term that we use because we know we have to go to work on Monday
Yeah.
for the majority of us, and so the Sunday scaries are like, "Oh, I don't wanna do it," and we live for the weekends, like I said earlier, and Sunday scaries just means that pending work week is on the horizon, and that's sad because I do feel like we should try to do work we enjoy instead of dread, but it's
Yeah.
also even when I like my job, I don't necessarily wanna go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I enjoyed my career as an event producer, and but there's just something about waking up on a Sunday morning and knowing you don't have to do anything, but then by Sunday evening, you're like, "Oh, I've gotta go to work tomorrow."
Mhm. Yeah,
It's back to the grind.
yeah.
It softened the blow with Sunday Scaries when Angela Lansbury's,
Mm.
show, Murder, She Wrote was on. It was like my one thing I could count on Sunday that was fun, and then when her show ended, I was just like,
Eh,
There's nothing to look forward to in life anymore."
I think that's why we do Sunday suppers when we have them. We don't have them as regularly as we'd like to, but it gives us something to enjoy, and then it also is nice because you've had a little touch of connection and friendship before you get busy in the work week, and you may not get to see each other or talk as much, so
Yeah. What spring color do you gravitate toward?
I love robin's egg blue. That's just a
Mm.
beautiful color. That's always been my favorite color, blues and different blue tones. The older I get, though, green's starting to come in a little bit more. So that's
Mm.
the first thing that pops into my mind. But I love a corally pink color.
Mm.
And I have a lot of that in my house, and I have these tulips from Amazon that I will share about in a little bit. So
Mm.
enjoy.
Okay. What season do you feel most like yourself?
I think I think it's spring, but I also really love fall.
Mhm.
So spring is my extroverted personality and fall is the
Mhm.
introverted side of me.
Oh, that is such a good way to frame that,
Mhm.
because fall is cozy and
Mhm.
inside, and
Homebody-ish. Uh-huh.
spring is warmish and outside.
Mhm.
Wow, Brittany, that is like a book.
I didn't mean to be profound.
You are always so profound. That is one of the things that people commented on our podcast survey.
Really?
Oh, yeah, their biggest takeaway was your permission slip to say no.
Oh, my commitment is
That
myself.
rest is a
Mhm.
commitment. It's okay to
Mhm.
say no if rest is your commitment. Girl, you should trademark that. But I love the fact that you said spring is your extrovert self and fall
Mhm.
is your introvert self.
Mhm.
I think we're done with the podcast now. We can just shut it down because I don't have anything to add to that.
But I am more extroverted in general, so I think spring is probably the better fit.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
I am definitely an extrovert. Well, but the older I get, that's the thing. It's hard for me to say, okay, in college, I did the Myers-Briggs, and I was like a 30 on the extrovert scale, which
Yeah,
is
that doesn't
about the
mean
highest.
anything to me. I don't remember that.
That's about the highest you can
I
be.
blocked Myers-Briggs out of my head.
Yeah. But I'm gravitating towards the middle more as I get older, and I think part of it is that as you get older, like, people are less what people think of you is less important, and so I'm more introverted because I like my own company,
Mhm.
and I enjoy my home, and that doesn't but I also like having people in my home to keep my extroverted self happy.
Yeah.
But I also when they say extroverts they get their energy from interacting with people, and introverts get their energy from being away from people, I can do both, you know? It kinda is the situation, it's situational.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm
I
kinda
do
the
feel energized after I have a good meeting for work with people or I've done a presentation in the community about my program, but I also feel super energized when I go nowhere and see no one. So
yeah. I can be both. I am both.
mhm,
For 35 years, I was an extrovert professionally,
mhm,
where I had to make small talk. I had to engage and connect to people and seem interested in people and be willing to drive the conversation if the person I was interacting with was not a talker.
right.
And then I would just come home and just be like, I got to plug in and recharge.
Yeah.
And found myself as I got older that I did not enjoy the bigger parties, the bigger,
Mhm.
that my weekends were for recharging and resting. And I
Yeah,
did not plan, nor did I want to do many things outside my home.
yeah.
Now that I'm retired, I'm still an extrovert when I need to be, but I'm
Mhm,
finding myself more content with myself and that I
mhm.
don't need external factors
Yeah.
to validate myself or keep myself
Mhm.
entertained.
Yeah.
Which worries me a little bit because I think, when you get older, your friends start moving away,
Mhm,
dying.
mhm,
I don't wanna be alone by myself,
mhm.
but I also enjoy my company.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I'm
I
perfectly
relate.
content doing nothing.
Mhm. I
Um,
completely relate.
yeah, and like I said, if I need to be an extrovert, I'm all
Mhm.
in. I am all in.
Yeah.
But
What you said about work, and then I think as my job progressed and it required more people, like on any given day, I could see and interact with about 500 people working in the school system. If I go to a school and I'm working throughout the day with classes throughout, that's, most elementary schools in our district have 3 to 500 kids.
yeah,
So when I worked in a school system in the school system in an actual school every day, now I work for the district office, so I'm not always in a school. But I think that's when the shift started happening because I was seeing and getting people. I was peopling all day, and I needed to be not peopling in the off time. And so
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting how
yeah,
we change and evolve as we age and
right.
mature.
Sure.
Alright, are you ready for the questions?
I am. Give 'em to
Okay.
me.
Okay, let's go. What's your don't overthink it dish meal?
You know what? I have really gotten I'm sometimes I'm kinda slow to adapt to new things, which is weird because I like to try new things, but I'm not the first person to go buy a new gadget.
Mhm.
So, air fryers have been around, I don't know, 10 years
Oh,
or
I was
if
slow to
not
get mine too.
longer.
Mhm.
So we bought a really nice one from our place for Phoebe for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And she said she wanted an air fryer. And my
Mhm.
sister has an Our Place air fryer oven, and so does my niece. So we got her one of those, and she loves it because it's not only an air fryer, but it's an oven and a
Yeah.
convection oven
I
and a
was gonna say
toaster
it.
oven.
Toaster oven, yeah.
So it's all in one. You don't even need to use your oven. So she gave me her just cheap little air fryer that she had, which actually does a really nice job. I need one that's a little bit bigger, but
Mm.
what I've been doing is just spraying pieces of salmon
Mm.
with olive oil nonstick spray and some seasoning and sticking it in the air fryer for like 10 minutes. And it makes the
Oh,
crispiest,
so crispy.
juiciest salmon.
Uh-huh.
And I just put that over some wild rice.
Mhm.
And then I've started buying because a lot of times if I buy fresh produce, it gets I forget about it
Yeah.
and it gets bad. So I've been buying a lot of frozen vegetables.
Mhm.
Now, you can buy frozen vegetables that you can just stick in the microwave and it'll steam in the bag.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I'll just add a bag of frozen vegetables and
Mhm.
it didn't heat my kitchen up.
Mhm.
I didn't mess up a bunch of pots and pans
Yep.
and I'm not cooking in grease. So I would have to say just using my air fryer is my new
Yeah.
don't overthink it dish.
They make 2 and this is one of my don't overthink it, like, weeknight meals when I'm not into even remotely making anything, they make those frozen bags with vegetables and, like, either couscous or quinoa or, like, there's one that I think it's Target, that it's like a Mediterranean bag, so it's got veggies and chickpeas and some grains and microwave them, and then I just toss in rotisserie chicken, some feta cheese, some olives, a little olive oil, and lemon juice, and that's a bowl, you know? I just use the whole bag for me because it's like 380 calories for the whole bag, and then eat
Yeah,
it back
and those
here.
frozen vegetables are not expensive.
No.
I wanna say 250 for a
Yeah,
bag that'll serve 2 people or 2
that's amazing.
servings,
Mhm.
and it's quick, it's I did one the other night that was potatoes and green beans and a garlic sauce.
Ooh.
It was really good, and I just divided it in half, and we had that with, I made some really good pork skewer, like, shish kebabs in the air fryer. It was an all recipes, or I think it was an
Mhm,
all recipes recipe, and, we had that with I mean, it was just fantastic. So I'm leaning into my air fryer. Yeah.
mhm. Okay. Are you a lemon square or a strawberry shortcake gal?
Okay, my mother loved strawberry shortcake. She was a
Mm,
huge strawberry
mhm.
fan, but I'm a lemon square gal, and I have the best
You
recipe
got a
for lemon
recipe?
squares on my website.
Okay.
It's my sister's recipe for lemon
Mm.
squares, and it makes the most sometimes when you eat lemon squares, they can be kinda gummy,
Yeah.
like, not creamy, but more like, spongy, kind of a
Mhm.
hands
I like
down,
that.
gross. This is a shortbread crust with a beautifully creamy lemon curd filling,
Yes, that's what I love.
and then you
Mhm.
sprinkle it with powdered sugar.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
The best my mouth is watering. The
Mm,
best time to eat these is after they have cooled just a little bit, but they're still warm,
warm.
because you
Mm,
cut it and the curd just kinda
mm,
slides down,
mm.
and it's just so rich, and that lemon is just, like,
Tart.
puckers.
Love it.
Yes, and
Mm.
lemon bars are the perfect dessert,
Mhm,
because you could make those the day before or the morning of, cut them in squares,
mhm.
put them on a tray, and that's everybody's dessert with a
Yes.
dollop of whipped cream if you wanted to elevate it and a little sprig of mint, that's all you need.
Mm, yum.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, stop it. We're so hungry. I'm so hungry. Okay, so what do you associate with Sunday afternoons?
Naps for sure, a pot roast,
Oh, okay.
and I don't make pot roasts on Sunday, but growing up,
Reason?
it just seemed like that's what mother would make, you
Yeah.
know?
So
Or or the alternative would be after church growing up, we would
yeah.
go to, like, a Luby's. At that
Mhm.
time, it was Wyatt's Cafeteria.
Like a Piccadilly.
Yes, and I would sit as a kid in Sundays in church just fantasizing about what I was gonna order when we got to Wyatt's,
Thinking
and I'd
about
write
which
my
sides you're gonna get.
yeah, and I'd write my dad a little note on, like, the offering envelope, "Can we go to Wyatt's?" And I'd pass it to him, and he'd give me the thumbs up.
That's the
So I knew,
best.
"Okay, I'm gonna get chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes and corn, a roll, and chocolate icebox pie." That
Mm,
was my go-to Wyatt's
that sounds
dinner.
so good.
Yeah.
So do y'all was your big meal on Sundays lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, ours too.
For Sunday dinner, actually, we would usually go to lunch after church. Everybody would
Mhm,
come home, put on their comfies, take a nap, watch a ball game, whatever, read
mhm.
the paper, and then mother would always make something really nice for dinner.
See,
And when
we
I
were
say
the
nice, I mean like pork chops or pork
right.
roast or
Our big meal on Sunday was right after church or, shortly after church, and then evening was either, like, leftovers or something simple like cereal, popcorn, we always had low-key Sunday supper, dinner.
yeah.
We've had that
Now,
conversation before.
sometimes mother would put something in that could be roasting while we were at church. Like,
Yeah.
she really liked that chicken with the Lipton onion soup mix and the
Mhm,
rice, where you just cover it real tight with foil and you stick it in the oven at a lower temperature, and then
mhm.
by the time we got home from church, it was ready to
Yeah.
eat.
Mhm.
And that was kinda disappointing, actually. I really liked going out to eat.
Yeah, me too.
Because we'd usually go with other couples from church that I
Uh-huh.
really liked, like my sweetest friend Julia, who was my mother's age, and I think I've talked about her before on the show.
Uh-huh.
She was
Yeah.
who I learned about life, while
Mhm,
we would snap peas. So,
mhm.
usually Julia would go, maybe my bestie Julie that I grew up with would go if she was, spent the night, and so if mother said, "No, we're going home to have roast chicken," I'd be like, "Ugh.
We
Can't we
always
just
like,
eat
"Can
the
we go out
chick"
to eat? Can we go out to eat? Can we go out
Yeah,
to eat?"
can we just eat that for dinner?" And she'd be like, "No." Be like, "Ugh, I don't like you today."
Okay, next question. What spring color do you gravitate towards?
Not necessarily to wear, but I
Mm.
love yellow.
Okay.
To me, yellow daffodils, yellow
Mhm,
tulips,
mhm.
yellow, forsythia,
Mm,
um, yellow lemons,
mhm.
yellow is just my jam in the spring.
Yeah, I love yellow too. I don't necessarily wear it either,
It's such a
but
happy color.
it is. Okay, last one. What season do you feel most like yourself?
Winter.
Winter.
I love the cold weather.
Okay.
I'm a cold weather person, and I think my body has been forced to like cold weather because of
Mm,
my dad keeping the thermostat on 60 degrees growing up. My body cannot regulate beyond 85 to 90 is my peak temp.
mm.
After that, my body just is like shuts
Nope.
down. My
Mhm.
mood is bad. I don't unless I can be in the pool.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I don't like about Texas summers. It's so darn hot.
Mhm.
It's not enjoyable. You
No,
can't
ours
wear
isn't
cute
enjoyable either.
things. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I'm just resorting to wearing t-shirts and workout shorts all
Mhm.
summer because it's
Yeah.
so darn hot. So winter is my introvert self.
Mhm.
Winter is nesting in my home, the
Mhm.
fireplace on, sweaters, sweats, socks,
Mhm.
soup,
Mhm.
electric blanket. That was one of the best things I bought this year for me and Mr. Twist for Christmas. Is that each bought us our own personalized sized electric blanket.
Mhm. I love an electric
And
blanket.
because he's gotten older, he's gotten the old man's I'm cold syndrome. He came in last night and he said, this house is so cold. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Old Man, go put a cardigan on like Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
So, like, he's got that electric blanket on his lap and his cat is on top of him. It's so cute. And I sleep with it at night sometimes if
Yeah.
it's a chilly night. Like today, it's high of 55.
Yeah. It's cool here today. It's windy
Yeah.
today.
So, a winter, but I do
Mhm.
love spring
Yeah.
because that's
That's
when
your
I'm,
extrovert self.
yeah, that's my extrovert
Mhm.
self is getting
Yeah.
out, planting things, making my garden look pretty.
Mhm. I love winter. I love cold weather too, but I only want stretches of cold weather. I don't want it to be, like, endlessly cold for months on end.
Oh, I
Um,
do. I want it to
but
be sleeting, snowing every day. Yeah.
well, I'd have if I wanted that every day, well, we shut down for things like that, which I love. So that's why I love
Which is
that.
why I think that Maine would be a good state for me to move to.
Hmm, okay.
But, if I moved to Maine, I would move to Maine in the summer, which would totally defeat the me getting the winter there.
Winter.
I really
Mhm.
wanna buy a house in Maine so that I can go and just go when
Mm,
I want to,
yeah. Any time of year. Mhm.
escape the Texas heat for sure, probably from,
Mhm.
like, July to September,
Mhm.
and then maybe go to Maine in January and February when it's really cold and the snow is deep.
Just have your winter.
Yeah, we looked at we wanted to look at a house when we were there last fall,
Mhm.
and we could never get the realtor to call us back.
Well, bummer.
Yeah, and I wish and that was disappointing.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna move on now. That was a fun segment.
Yeah.
To bless it, I had to share it. And
Yes.
this is where we share things that we're loving right now. So Brittany, what are you loving right now?
Well, it's an oldie but goodie that I shared last year in the spring on my Instagram, and I mentioned them earlier. The color, the coral, but these faux tulips
Oh my
from
word, that is the prettiest color tulip I've ever seen in my
I
life.
they're like this coral gradient, and they're latex, and so they look fairly realistic, and they don't feel realistic because 'cause they're latex, but they are packs of 6, and they're like $17, give or take, depending Amazon prices kinda go up and down. But what I love most besides the color, and there's all different color options in this tulip, but what I love besides the color is that some of them are, like, closed tulips,
Opened and
and
summer
then some are
clothes.
starting to open,
I
and I
love
love that.
that.
And they're bendy, and I love a floppy tulip when it gets to the point, like, it's flopping over the vase, so they're bendy, and you can make them.
You're gonna include those in the show notes.
Yes, I will.
'Cause I don't think I've ever seen any that are faux that are gradient like that,
Yeah, they're so pretty.
but it just makes it so realistic
Mhm.
looking.
And
I
I
have
have this.
some I have
Yeah.
some yellow ones that are like that
Uh-huh.
latex, and they're in a basket on my front door, and they're just so pretty.
Mhm.
They're so realistic, but those are stunning.
The color just made me
Yeah.
happy. I have this crystal vase that was mama's that I keep on the coffee I don't always have it on the coffee table, but I like to have it on the coffee table, and I had some actual live tulips that I got when I was sick. Some Anna brought me ramen noodles, medicine cough syrup, and tulips from the
Anna for
grocery
the
store.
win. Anna, Anna,
She's the
Anna.
bestie of for the restie, like anyway, so I had those on in that vase, and then I replaced them with some faux little mini daisies that I got off of Wayfair, and they're super cute, but these tulips are about to replace them for spring, and I have 2 packs, so I have 12 total because they come in packs of 6, and then I bought another variety on Amazon that's not quite as pretty, but they're just smaller closed ones, and I mix those in, so it's like a pretty big bouquet of tulips, but anyways, that's my bless. I had to share it if you're looking for some good faux tulips for spring. Those are
Yeah, I
great.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to Kate Bagley, our precious Kate,
Kate.
who we had on as a guest
Mhm.
season 2.
I think it was season 2, yeah.
And you can find her on Instagram at Kate Bagley, Bagley.
Mhm.
And she is a photo curator, kind of like helps you to curate and organize and catalog and
Mhm.
cull your photos
Mhm.
so that you can be a memory keeper in that way and not have just tons of things on and save your things,
Yeah.
not have risk the lose, if your computer or your phone crashes, you know.
Mhm.
So she gave me this tip when I went to go visit my sister of my sister didn't have a scanner. I didn't really want to buy one because at that time I just didn't want to spend the money. But she told me about this app called Photo Mine, and it's PHOTOMYNE. It's an
Okay.
app. And I want to say the first couple of weeks were free and then you had to pay for it, but it was not expensive at all.
Mhm.
And what it does is it works as a scanner and you can scan your photos. And I'm going to show you what I did.
Okay.
This is a painting of my childhood home.
Oh.
I don't know who did it. It's very old. One of my mother's friends, if I had to guess, this was probably painted by a lady named Trudy Tatum, who was one of my mother's friends. And
Mhm.
it's painted on this really weird, not even a canvas, I don't
Like
think.
cardboard is it textured?
Yeah, it's textured. It's real heavy.
Yeah. I've seen that before. Yeah, I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
So I'm going to have it framed, but
Mhm.
I wanted to scan the picture because I wanted to use it as kind of like my calling card.
Oh, yeah.
So I scanned it on the app, and here's how it came up on the app.
Well, that's awesome.
I mean, it's almost exactly the coloring.
And you
And
can
then what I did is I uploaded it to Canva and I
mhm.
designed a card that I can give to people where they can access my dinner party checklist when I'm out and
Oh,
about. So here's the card
cute.
and it says, "Come in and stay a while."
Uh-huh.
And on the back side, it has my picture, my bio, and the
Uh-huh.
QR code to scan for people to get my dinner party checklist.
Yeah.
And I just love it, and I had it printed on I always use Canva to print my stuff,
Me
and it's
too.
on really heavy, heavy cardstock.
Mhm.
But I just love
That is
how it
so
turned out. I mean,
cute.
the color is just so,
Mhm.
anyway, that would be my shout out to Kate. If you're needing somebody to help you just manage the 8,000 how many pictures do you have on your phone?
I think I when we looked last season, it was like 20 something thousand.
Oh, geez. Okay, I
Mhm.
just called a bunch because it was impacting my ability to my recording space. So I think I'm down to like 1,800 pictures. But if you're needing somebody to help you get a hold of your pictures, like maybe you've got boxes of photos, you've
Mhm.
got heirloom photos, you've got photos on your phone that you just don't know what to do with. Anyway, reach out to Kate because she does offer photo organization services and get this photo mine or photo. I don't know how I
Mhm.
spelled it, but I think it's $30 for the year.
Hmm.
And because my sister doesn't want me to have the originals of all our family photos. So I just
Yeah.
scanned a bunch of them and
Yeah.
they look like the real deal. So,
Uh-huh. I love that, and because I have a lot of black and white photos from my parents and grandparents' childhood and stuff that I would love to digitize for my brother and for other people in the family to have, but still keep the originals
well,
as
I was
well.
just super impressed. And all you do is it tells you to put your picture down like on a white space. So if
Mhm.
you don't have a white table, you could just put it down on top of a white piece of paper,
Piece of paper, yeah.
and it just zeroes right in on that photo. I mean,
Hmm.
it here, well, let me show you. So here's the painting
Right?
and here's the card.
I mean, gosh. The details, you can
Um,
even see the details still and,
yeah,
like, the
and I
brush strokes
actually
almost.
think that the printed version actually shows more of the detail.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a little bit different coloring in terms of, like, the sky and the with the
Green.
grass,
Mhm.
but, I mean, wow.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neat.
Okay.
That's
Alright,
awesome.
I guess it's time to close the show, and
It
you
is
are gonna
time.
share our toast to sentiment for today.
Yes, I am. This is the time where we close the show with a toast to sentiment, where we share a poem, a story, just a word, if you will, to encourage you at this time, quotes, all the things. And today's episode airs March 12th, so right before St. Patrick's Day. And I have quite a bit of Irish heritage. My mom's family is on my granddad's side. They're Phillips family, and they are Irish, and we have our family reunions around St. Patrick's Day, and everybody wears green and all the things. I didn't have Kelly green, so this is my closest to Kelly green, my closest green that I had to wear for our St. Patrick's Day sort of episode. But um, I have this beautiful Florentine framed poem that was my grandparents. It was in my grandparents' house, but it is an Irish house blessing.
Oh,
So if I can read it, it's hard because it's an old script, but I pretty much can read it.
okay.
So I wanted to read the Irish house blessing to y'all
So
to
this
close
was now
today's
which
show.
grandmother and grandpa was this?
My Phillips, my mom's, my maternal side.
So Ella?
Ella and Milton. Yep.
Okay, alright.
Mhm. Ella
Hit
and
it.
Milton Phillips.
Okay.
Okay, so the Irish house blessing. God bless the corners of this house and be the lintel blessed. And bless the hearth and bless the board and bless each place of rest. And bless each door that opens wide to strangers as to kin. And bless each crystal window pane that lets the starlight in. And bless the roof tree overhead and every sturdy wall. The peace of man, the peace of God, the peace of love on all.
Oh,
So,
Ella and Milton, thank you.
blessing.
I wonder where your grandma Ella got that.
I got no clue. I wish I
See,
did.
that's are the things that I wish they were still
Mhm.
around for us to
Mhm.
ask them.
Yep. This is what story keeping is, recording the what you know about things for future generations, and I do know a lot about I would say a good bit about the things that my grandparents had and my mom had, but not everything, and that makes me a little sad because I don't know about this. I don't know if it was, something she picked up because it was an Irish house blessing, or it was gifted to them, or it belonged to somebody else, in our family. I wish I did know, but
Is there
so
anything on the back of it?
there's it's worn off, but it's the manufacturer's it's that Florentine, so it's the
Yeah, but, like,
frame.
what's the back look like? Is it framed and it has a cut oh, so you can't really take that out to see if she
See, it
wrote
has
anything.
this that doesn't say like, it's worn off, and I think it just said made in Italy,
Wow, but that's the frame.
GB
I wonder if someday you could take it
Florence.
out of that frame and look to see if there's anything written on the back of it.
Mhm.
But you
I
wouldn't
mean,
wanna
paper
I
is
mean
peeling back. Hold on, nothing that I can see. I don't wanna pull it all off.
no, yeah, that is so precious.
Isn't it
Well,
cute? And
thank you
the
for sharing
colors are
that.
so good for my house. Like, that's so unintentional. You
Yeah.
know how this rug in this room was hers? And I bought this because I loved it. This wall thing I have on the wall that's an Asian wood room divider. And I loved it. Didn't have a plan for it. Did not match the room at my old house that was like this room. The furniture in it was yellow. The settees were yellow. I had those recovered. And then the rug, I don't know. And it's just crazy how the things just start coming together. When it's things you love, you gravitate towards things. And when they come together, they seem to
So
work.
do you remember your grandma Ella's house being the same colors as your house?
No, it wasn't entirely the same, like, she had a large, well, sofa in that formal living room where this rug was, that was sort of neutral and tan. Of course, I have a dining table and chairs, so the seats are the same color, like, I guess it it's a happy accident that I love all the same colors that she loved in a way, but
Yeah.
I don't it didn't look like this, but it was in her house as well. The chandelier, the dining table and chairs, this rug, the little tea table that I use as a coffee table in here it was in that room as well. And then everything else was stuff I added too that just not with the intention of it matching. It just happened to come together. So
I
sort of
know
crazy.
that Ella and your mom are just upstairs going, "Look at our sweet little Brittany and her cute little house."
I think my mom would be a little bit jealous, but of course, a lot of it's her stuff. So if she was here, I wouldn't have it. So
Right.
she would really like it. She'd be very at home, obviously, but it's very cozy. Nothing's too precious, even though it's all precious in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the formal living room, but I live in it.
Yeah.
I spend a lot
It's
of time in it.
precious because it's meaningful. It's not
Right.
precious, like, fragile and you can't touch it or it's not
Right.
cozy, you know?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
let's give a toast to that.
Oh yes. I'm gonna use my Irish coffee mug. I promise there's no Baileys in it. It's
And I'm
just
gonna use my mother's Irish Waterford coupe glasses that she purchased with my daddy years ago, and then you got
I
your
love
Irish
it.
blessing. So, a toast to sentiment, Brittany.
Yes.
Well, that is all for today's episode of the Sentimental Twist. We wanna encourage everybody to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts, either Spotify, Apple. Apple seemed to be the place that most people are listening to our podcast.
Mhm.
You can find us on YouTube at Brittany Shepard TSD, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And at me with Home of the Twist on YouTube. Leave a review, leave comments on our YouTube, leave comments on Spotify or Apple, share with a friend who loves meaningful spaces. Be sure to give us a feedback on our survey, which you can find at the Sentimental Twist Podcast on Instagram,
Mhm.
linked in our bio. Go to Brittany Shepard, the Sentimental Decorator, Home
Mhm.
with a Twist for me. Be sure to email us any of your stories about sentimental style or hospitality.
Mhm. Yes, please do. All right.
So thanks for joining us on the Sentimental Twist.
Where we believe every space tells a story.
And every story deserves a place at the table. Until next time.
Keep things cozy, collected, and a little bit sentimental. Bye, y'all.
Bye,
See you next time.
everybody.